Hi everybody, here's the pot and pan identification we went over today, September 29th, Tuesday, just in case you missed it in the Google Meet today. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to talk about is hotel pans. The reason they call these hotel pans is because they're actually were used in hotels for buffets, and they can hold large amounts of food for people. So that's where they get their name. So you can get up to, let's see, like this one here. Like this, you can probably fit 20 portions of food in here. And this is a 2-inch hotel pan here. And then this one here is a 4-inch hotel pan. And the reason this is a 4-inch hotel pan is this section right here is actually 4 inches. Okay. And then this little space right here is 2. So that's it. And also I should probably bring up, and I know I'm drawing a lot on this, but a lot of times this 2-inch hotel pan here will actually insert into this one and go right on top of it. And that brings us to the next slide. Well, I just lost my arrow there. Let me try again. Right here. There we go. That can insert in there. And this is where you could put water in this part. And you put, like I said, once again, this one goes on top. And then we go to a chafing dish. So you can see here's the 4-inch portion right there, and then the 2-inch right there. So you put the water in there, and it keeps everything warm in the chafing dish. So this is called the chafing dish. Okay, what you really need to know about this here is called a perforated pan. We usually shorten that and we call it a perf pan. This is a perf hotel pan. And going back to the other slides, these are all full hotel pans. Okay, so this is a perf hotel pan and it has holes in it. There's several uses. Sometimes if you want it to wash lettuce or something, and you want the water from the lettuce to drain into this without soaking the lettuce and letting it sit in that water, you could do that. Also, sometimes we use these if we have fish or something, you want to keep that on ice. Let me try to draw a picture of a fish here. It's not going to be great. So let's say we have fish here. If you can imagine these being fish, and I know they don't look like fish, but let's say these are fish. Okay, and then we want to put ice on top of this to keep it cold. Let's say these are ice cubes, and we'd have more than 3 ice cubes and probably 3 pieces of fish, but you get the idea. So what happens is that when the ice starts to melt, which keeps the fish cold, the water will drain into this pan, and then the fish isn't soaking in the water that's melted, in the ice that's melted. So all the fish water, for lack of a better word, goes into this pan here. And once again, that's called the perf pan. On to the next slide. Okay, these are also hotel pans. This is a 4-inch, and this is a 2, but these are called half hotel pans. Okay, these are half the size of a regular hotel pan. That's all you need to know. This right here is called a 9th pan. And the reasoning behind that is this. Remember, this pan here is a full hotel pan, a whole hotel pan. This is a 9th pan because, now this won't be totally accurate, but 9 of these will fit into a hotel pan. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Usually we use these to keep seasonings and stuff in, and we have lids for them. But like I said, the main reason I want you to know about these is I want you to say, if I say, hey, go get like 3 9th pans, I need you to know what I'm talking about. All right, on to the next slide. This is a great pan. We have 2 of these. They're very heavy bottom pans. They're very shallow, but there's a lot of surface area on the bottom. It's good for browning things and making soups and things like that. And this is called a rondeau. I know that's not a very common name that you've heard, but that's what we refer to these shallow. I guess shallow pot would be a better term than pan, because when we think pot too, when I think of a pot, I think of two handles. Okay, so that is a rondeau. This is a stock pot, and the reason we call it a stock pot is because one of the uses is we make stock, like chicken stock, in this pot, which we'll go into more detail about later. This is a stock pot. Once again, you got one handle there, one handle here. Also, this is a good pot for cooking pasta. Sorry, that doesn't look very good on there. Let's see. This is also good because it holds a lot of water, and you always need a lot of water when you cook pasta. Once again, that is a stock pot. All right, this one handle here, we refer to this, regardless of the size, as a sauce pot. Okay, so once again, the one handle, a sauce pot, we have different sizes. This one's fairly large, but that's what we refer to that as a sauce pot. Now we're getting a little bit more complicated. This is called a bain-marie or a double boiler. Usually if I refer to one of these by themselves, I refer to this as just a bain. Okay, but what happens with this, and I showed in the Google Meet today, I didn't record it. This pan here can fit into this one. Okay, it'll insert inside, and we'll move on to the next slide and it'll probably make more sense. Okay, so what this does is it keeps items warm without burning them. So if you'll see here, this top pan is inserted in here, and what we do is we put some water in there, okay, in this pan, and then this one right here sets on top, so we could put our soup or something in there, and then when we heat it up, okay, on the stove, this water will heat up and keep this soup warm, but it'll insulate the soup so it won't scorch on the flame, and that steam keeps it warm without it burning the bottom of the pan. All right, that is a bain-marie, and that's the purpose behind that. This is an omelet or a Teflon pan. It's a Teflon omelet pan. The main thing you need to know about these Teflon pans is we do not wash this. We just wipe them out. And the reason, now you can wash this at the sink, the bottom part, you can wash the bottom part. But this part, once again, you do not want to wash out. The reason being is it could, it would scratch this up, and then it wouldn't become non-stick, because that's what Teflon does. It's a very slick surface. Like if you're cooking a fried egg or something in there, it won't stick to the bottom of the pan. So, but if you start scrubbing it with scouring pads and stuff, it'll scratch up and it'll defeat the whole purpose of the pan itself. So that's an omelet, a Teflon omelet pan. Now, why is this omelet pan wrapped in plastic? The reason behind that is we try to protect the surface as much as possible after we wipe them out. So it doesn't get damaged. That's why it's wrapped up in plastic. So after you use one and wipe it out and clean it, you need to wrap it in plastic. And these also go in the filing cabinet. I'm just going to put filing cab. Remember where we talked about where we store the mandolins. This, I forgot to talk about this in the lecture today, but we have several different types of pans. Now these are very old pans, but they still work very well. They don't look like they're in perfect condition because they get a lot of use. But this is called a saute pan. Saute basically means minimal oil, medium-high heat. We use these pans quite a bit. There's different sizes. This is here is an 8-inch saute pan. Okay. These are sheet pans. They're shallow, very shallow pans. Usually we bake cookies on these pans here. A lot of baked items go on these pans. They're very shallow, but they hold quite a bit of things. So mainly I would say the best way to describe what we use them most for is baking cookies and things like that. I don't know if you can see, this is a whole sheet pan, and then this is a half. Maybe I have another picture and we can see the next. If you look here, like here is the here's the whole sheet pan, okay? And then one of these halves will fit on the other side, if that makes sense. So this is a half sheet pan. It's just half the size of a whole sheet pan. Full and a half. All right. This is a springform pan, and we use this mainly for baking cheesecakes. I guess that's really all we use them for, and sometimes different types of quiches. But the thing about this pan is, it will look to the next slide, is it comes apart. So once you bake something, you can pop this whole apparatus off, and then you're just left with your cake. And let me show you right here. If I think I have a picture of a cake, and it's called the springform pan because there's a spring here that will pop loose, and you can get this off. That's why it's called the springform. And I think I have a picture here. Yes, so it's a very odd looking strawberry cheesecake, but if you can see that cake, if it was sitting right here, that it would be, the whole outside would be exposed, and you just pop that off. So it really is a really great pan, and much easier to explain in the kitchen and in person, but we're doing the best we can with these PowerPoints. I think that's about it. You're going to have a quiz or a worksheet on Wednesday, September 30th. Complete that. If you can't complete it on Wednesday, that's fine. If you show up to that Google Meet on Thursday, we'll go over it together and get it done. So, oops, my battery's about to die, so I guess I'm going to go. So, thanks for listening, and I will post this on Schoology. That, once again, that's for September 29th on a Tuesday. All right, have a nice day. Bye.